The Blood of the Dawnwalker is shaping up to be one of the most exciting upcoming games. It combines a deep story, tough moral decisions, and creative gameplay. Here's why it stands out and why I'm so excited for it. So the main character, Cohen, is a young and emotional hero, different from a tough or cynical characters we often see in games. He starts off as an inexperienced, relatable person, which makes his journey feel personal and realistic. The story follows Cohen as he tries to save his family, who are being held captive by an ancient vampire lord. To make things more intense, players have just 30 in-game days to complete this mission. Cohen starts out as an ordinary person, but he learns to use a sword, dark magic, and even gains vampire-like powers. These powers are useful for fighting and exploring, but comes with a risk. Cohen can still die easily. His condition, caused by silver poisoning, stops him from becoming a full vampire while letting him live between the human and the vampire worlds. This mix of strength and weaknesses makes gameplay interesting and strategic. Now the story is full of tension and urgency. The 30-day countdown makes every decision feel important. The game takes place in 14th century Europe, a time when plagues, wars, and famine devastated the lands. This historical setting is mixed with a unique twist. Vampires have taken the control, overthrowing feudal lords and exploiting humanity during its weakest moments. The game is being developed by Rebel Wolves, a studio created by former CD Projekt Red developers. They partnered with Bandai Namco to bring this project to life using Unreal Engine 5. Now the game is also the first chapter of the larger saga. Rebel Wolves was founded in 2022 by Konrad Tomaszkiewicz, who directed The Witcher 3. After leaving CD Projekt Red following accusations of workplace bullying, later found to be untrue, Tomaszkiewicz decided to start fresh with a new team. The Blood of the Dawnwalker is their first big project and promises to deliver the same emotional depth and gritty tone as The Witcher 3. The game's trailer shows a haunting world during the Black Death, a real pandemic that killed around 50 million people in Europe between 1346 and 1353. This historical backdrop adds a layer of realism and horror to the game's already gripping atmosphere. One of the most interesting aspects of the game is how it portrays vampires. They aren't just, villains. While they protect humans from outside threats, they also exploit them by taxing their blood through weekly blood masses. This system forces players to think about whether the vampires' rule is entirely bad. The vampires have their own society, complete with traditions and laws, making the world feel alive and complex. The game gives players a lot of freedom. Its narrative sandbox approach mixes main and side quests, ensuring no two playthroughs are the same. Players can choose how to interact with the world, whether they want to attack castles on their own or form allies with different groups. The day and night cycle is a big part of the gameplay. During the day it's safer to explore, but at night vampires and other creatures come out, making exploration much more dangerous. Players will have to be careful, plan their actions, and balancing risks and rewards. As Cohen grows stronger, he gains new abilities to face tougher enemies. His vampire-like powers help him to explore hard-to-reach places and gain advantages in combat. But these powers come with their own dangers, keeping the game challenging and yet exciting. The game's visuals are inspired by 13th to 15th century Eastern Europe. The world looks realistic, but has subtle magical elements that makes it eerie and immersive. Now the architecture, like Carpathian villages and Roman-style churches, adds to the authenticity. The environments change between day and night, creating a dynamic and living world. Weather and lighting effects also play a big role in setting the mood. The vampires in the game are designed in a way that is both unique and yet terrifying. Their fangs grow continuously, and they can turn others into vampires by driving a fang into their heart. Older vampires are even more grotesque. This attention to the detail makes the vampires feel real and horrifying. Magic in the games is subtle and tied to the world's history. Instead of flashy effects, you'll see strange phenomena, like birds flying in odd patterns or unnatural northern lights in the sky. These small details make the world feel more mysterious and grounded. Now the main villain, Brannis, is a charismatic and powerful ancient vampire. He sees himself as the savior and uses religion and culture beliefs to justify his rule. His regimen includes harsh measures like blood taxes and public punishments, keeping the valley isolated and under tight control. The supporting characters are just as important. They have their own goals and motivations, and players can form alliances or conflicts with them. Rebels outside of the agents and new groups like undead, kobolds, and mountain creatures add complexity to the story. Players will need to navigate these relationships carefully, as every choice, of course, has consequences. The game explores big themes like loss, family, tyranny, and dealing with the unknown. Every quest and interaction feels meaningful thanks to the handcrafted content. The moral choices players make add emotional weight to the story. For an example, deciding whether to side with the rebels or work with the vampires that can change the course of the game. Because of the emphasis on player's choice, the game is highly replayable. There are multiple ways to reach your goals, and the world reacts to your decisions. Whether you choose to ally with certain groups, negotiate with vampires, or go on your own way, every playthrough will feel unique. The Blood of the Dawnwalker is actually shaping up to be one of the more unforgettable experiences. Its deep story, immersive world, and focus on tough choices makes it a standout. The mix of realistic settings, magical elements, and a dynamic world ensures the game will feel fresh and engaging. I'm especially drawn to the moral ambiguity and the freedom to shape Cohen's journey. The day and night cycle, detailed vampire lore, and the themes of the survival and family promises quite a rich and emotional adventure. With its handcrafted design and a focus on players' agency, I can't wait to deep dive into this world and see how my decisions affect Cohen's fate. Thank you so much for watching. Do like and subscribe. Tell me down in the comments as well, what did you think about the Blood of the Dawnwalker? Are you excited as am I? Or perhaps maybe you need to see a little bit more. I'll see you guys all. Have a wonderful day.
Must be here somewhere.
It's all right.
Lunka! Don't hurt her! You gave us quite the chase, young man.
Please, sir. She's just a child!
Roderick, remind me, did I make an exception for children?
No, sire.
No. That would have been foolish, would it not? They spread the plague just as well as adults. And there's only one way to stamp out this sickness.
No!
Not just a runner, but a fighter, too. Had we met under a different moon, things might have ended.
Lunka? My sister. She needs help. Fast. Please, let us pass through. I beg of you. Please. I don't know. How?
I am life. I am death. I am everything in between. I have been watching your little valley. Pestilence, famine, killing. Blood spilt carelessly, like water.